Well, hello there, everyone. We're back in seemingly the middle of nowhere, this quiet industrial neighborhood, but this is not the middle of nowhere. It's the Sometimes Vlog. Yeah. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. How are you? Now, I know I've dumped a lot on you lately on this channel. There have been so many adventures, so many videos. The Random Land adventures are back, just a little bit more loosey-goosey, a little fun on-the-go action. Just sort of random adventures at the theme parks lately a lot. We did 2 Knott's Merry Farm experiences, one with my good friend Adam the Woo, and then, of course, a couple of Disneyland interesting things. I hope you watched that one about the top secret Disneyland-related documentary that's coming out soon. Very fun. A lot of fun stuff has been happening. Today, though, I haven't been having any fun. Oh, I have been having fun, but I've been working, and I've been working on a top secret project. I worked on this a lot during November. I had to take a lot of time away to be like, what the heck, where's all the videos at? I hope I made it up for it, and then some in December, because we've had a lot of crazy adventures, like I was just mentioning. But part of the reason I had to disappear in November is because of a secret project that I had been working on, which has to do with music. I laid down the music in 2013 after 10 years of being in my band called The Scarred. That's right, it's Justin Scarred, not Justin Scared. Hate to blow your mind. By the way, look at the size of this rock. What's up with this giant rock right here? A giant hip hop I would expect, but a giant rock? Anyway, I laid down the music for a long time, and then last year, my friends, Ben, my old drummer in The Scarred, and my friend Jordan, who recorded my last album, and they're sort of like life-partnered friends. I mean, they've gone through everything together. These guys have a secret clubhouse up here in the beautiful, sunny San Fernando Valley, where they're recording bands again, for the heck of it. And last year, they dragged me back. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Just do a silly cover song or something. It's like a middle-aged retirement home for old punk rockers and just weird musicians and stuff like that. People in the scene. They dragged me out to do like a little fun pop punk cover, and then it was like, man, we had so much fun doing it. Because it was unlike the old band days, and I will elaborate on this in a longer thing one day when I'm ready to show you music. I'm actually here to show you something else, but I'm just telling you why I'm up here in the first place. There was no pressure on it or anything. It wasn't like the old days where they, oh gosh, this has to be perfect, and oh my gosh, we're spending so much money on the studio, oh my gosh, we gotta do 18. But we did Live Fast I Poured, my last album. We had to pump out like, I can't remember how many songs. We recorded like 20 songs, and we had like 2 days to do it in. It was a nightmare. It was crazy. So this was so different, and you know, music isn't my main thing or anything anymore. It was just such a fun experience. I was like, what else we got? So I got a whole album worth of old songs that we never recorded, so we just have been recording a few ditties, just a few ditties. I don't know if you'll ever hear them. You probably will, but not yet. Not ready yet. So I came up today to actually sing, so I'm a little hoarse. That's right, I know I look like a donkey, but I'm actually a little hoarse. And since I was literally in the neighborhood, because the studio is just around the corner here, I thought I would come by this sort of sketchy looking industrial blank neighborhood. What's he doing up here? And come revisit something amazing. I used to stop by all the time, but haven't been here in years until coming to the studio. It's this. Look at this. Does this look familiar to you? This big white building right here. It might not look familiar to you because the paint scheme has changed a little bit. It didn't used to say Quixote by Sunset Studios. It used to say Chandler Valley Studios, something like that on the top. But as I get closer, as we get the crop right, it should be looking familiar to you now. My friends, if you don't know what this was Dunder Mifflin. That's right, this is the filming location from The Office. And I used to come up here, like I said, all the freaking time, because way before I was doing YouTube videos, I was obsessed. I still am sometimes, off camera, obsessed with filming locations, and I had a Back to the Future filming locations website. I was one of the first people, really the first one, to discover a bunch of locations from part 2 and some from part 3, or at least to post about them online in like a sort of organized way. And so I had this Back to the Future locations website, and then I had some other blogs and websites that were just all filming locations. Nobody hardly ever looked at them, except for weird, nutty Back to the Future fans that were coming to LA and wanted to find these spots. And in the process of having all that stuff, that's actually how I met my friend Adam the Woo, because he obviously obsessed with Back to the Future, and at some point, somehow, some sloppy way, I had left a link on there on some random page to my band, or there was some kind of connection, or he figured it out somehow, and he hit me up. He's like, dude, you guys have a band? I think he emailed the Back to the Future website and was like, do you have a punk rock band? And then he's like, dude, we got to go on tour together and whatever. And that is how it all happened. That is how we became friends. He was sort of starting to mess around with YouTube videos back then, and then we became friends as he sort of turned his life into YouTube. All that's in my book. If you guys read my book at all, the whole kind of more detailed story is in there. Anyway, so it sort of all began with Back to the Future and filming locations, because eventually he convinced me, like, dude, you should be in YouTube videos. He's like, the shtick that I'm doing, that's you in real life. You should be making YouTube videos. And right over here, there used to be a sign, by the side note, there used to be like a Scranton Business Park sign over here, like Vance Refrigeration and stuff. You used to be able to see through the gate and see the parking lot. Now, if you're up close, you're on the sidewalk here, all you see is this giant bush. But let me back way up across the street. That's where Michael Scott was up there throwing the watermelon down on Stanley's car. This is crazy to be back here. But let's focus on that in 1 second. Well, let me finish the first thought. This is the thing, I'm all jumbled up today because I've been recording and singing, hanging out with my buddies, so let me gather my thoughts for 1 second. So yeah, filming locations is what got me into it. So I used to be constantly going to different filming locations around LA and the Valley and Orange County, and trying to find different ones that had never been found before. Now they're just all out there with the explosion of social media and people who are doing full-time filming location content. Like, everything has been found, it feels like. It's like, it took kind of the fun out of it for me. Plus, when I started doing YouTube videos, and now, look at this, now we've got the glory shot. When I started doing the YouTube videos, one of the first things that happened was Adam came out here and did a whole Back to the Future filming locations thing with me. He was doing so many filming locations when he first visited California. You know, having been in Florida for all that time, he was stoked. And so I kind of thought, I'll leave the filming locations to Adam for now. I'll get back around to doing filming locations. And even though I'm still obsessed with them, every time I watch a movie, a TV show, anything, I'm like, where did they film that? I'm trying to decode it. If it's a mystery, I get all excited. I never really filmed them. And so The Office is sort of just before I started filming the YouTube videos. I was here like all the time. Anytime anyone would come visit from out of state for the band, whether it was like, you know, a record label guy or another band was here on tour, I would end up driving up here to Van Nuys, California. That's where we are, on this little dead end section of Satakoy Street. And I would take them to the Chandler Valley Studios over here. Just another day at the office for me back then. But I haven't been here in so long, so it's so weird to be up here because, like I said, you used to be able to just see through the bars of this fence. They now added all this gnarly, you know, can't see through it stuff. And so you'd be looking through here. And the cool part was, back when they were filming The Office here, I'm sure somebody's got videos of all this. Not only did you have the Scranton Business Park sign up there with DUNDER MIFFLIN, Vance Refrigeration. I might be able to find a picture of that online to show you. You also had all the cars in the parking lot. So the prop cars that they would leave out here, they actually filmed the show in here. There's a big sound stage in this building. And obviously they would use these upstairs windows to film out of, although that's not where the Office set actually was. But anyway, they would just leave those cars, like Jim and Pam's car, Michael Scott's car, Stanley's car. They would leave them in the parking lot because, you know, they weren't the actors' cars. They weren't taking them home. And what was awesome is at the end of the street here, now you have a car detailing thing. There's sort of a little encampment there. And then behind that, there's like a tow yard. But at the dead end, there's some security booths because that second white building is also part of the studio. And they have this big parking lot. And in that parking lot, they would keep two, not just one, but two, at least two, of Dwight Schrute's Trans Am. It was a Trans Am, right? It wasn't a car. He was driving awfully fast to that dead end back there. What was I going to say? Not a Camaro. It was a Trans Am, I think. Anyway, they had two of Dwight's cars back there. So if you came here on a random Sunday, like this is today, and happy Sunday, by the way. If you came here on just a random Sunday, back when they were filming the show, you would still be able to see all the cars right here. It was kind of the perfect setup. You could take pictures. Sometimes they did cover this fence when they were filming in there. And then you could go to the end of the street and you'd see Dwight Schrute's car parked down there. And sometimes it's just big props, like sort of in this parking lot that's way down at the end of the road. So if you're an Office fan, this is like sort of holy ground, obviously. And I was a big fan of The Office, the American version, obviously, we're talking about, while it was under production. So this was like sacred ground coming out here. I'm finding it a little disappointing now, though, because I'm just now realizing how lucky we were to be able to come here when they were actually filming that show. Why didn't someone tell us it was the good old days when we were in them? Because I thought, yeah, we'll always be able to go back and just check out Dunder Mifflin. I was like, no, I should have came one last time during that final season and got some pictures and videos and all that kind of stuff. I know I've got some buried on an old hard drive somewhere, but they're not close at hand. So this is wild. So I'm up here at the office. I've been working on that secret project. That is coming. And there was a bunch of other stuff I was going to do today and planning on doing today that is not going to happen now because the studio took a little longer than I thought. But that's because we made a little progress. So I'll tell you, spoiler alert, we're only working on 4 songs, just for the fun of it. And I have now done at least the main vocals that are all right for 2 of them. So I think those are done. And then 2 other songs, I was sort of losing the edge of the singing there. So we're leaving those for, I don't know, whenever we get to them. That's what makes it fun. But that's also what makes it take so long that I haven't talked about this yet, really, is that we'll get to them when we get to them kind of thing, because we all have jobs and wives and lives and things like that. But it makes it fun. It makes it more like a clubhouse. It makes it like, yeah, let's meet up to do bowling or, yeah, I don't know, you know, whatever your hobby is. I don't really have a lot of hobbies, because whatever my hobbies are, I end up sharing them, and then that becomes something that I start to pressure myself and feel like, well, I've got to work on that thing. I got to show that thing. We got to film that thing. We got to do that thing. I think that's why maybe I never touched the filming locations thing, is because I never wanted to have any pressure with that. That was just sort of a weird hobby. Other people like to do puzzles or escape rooms. I like to try to figure out where filming locations were. So I did those big adventures with Adam, like the very early videos that he did out here. Big epic filming locations with like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I actually found the biker bar. It had never been posted online where the actual biker bar was. They had a different location that everyone took pictures at because there's 2 very similar buildings on the same road, not far from each other. We found some other spots like in Oxnard where they're jumping off the trains and different stuff like that. So that was really awesome. I've seen tons of people do videos on that now. But back in the day, since it was only Adams that had like sort of the complete thing, I thought, oh, I shouldn't go out and film that because I don't know why. And now I kind of regret it. Now I'm like, I shouldn't have let what anybody else was doing affect what I was doing. I should have done some adventures with you guys back then. So I'm gonna add that to the old brain files and make that a thing going forward. Anyway, so we're supposed to be another Random Land adventure today because I thought I'd be leaving here a couple hours earlier. Didn't happen, but we're working on this project. And so sometime in 2025, you might hear my beautiful singing voice ringing in your ears. Some of you will no doubt enjoy it. Others of you will be like, oh man, his talking voice is bad enough. I don't know if I can handle the singing voice. And that is tough but fair. Tough but fair. Dude, the first time I ever, as kind of an adult, really heard my voice recorded back, because I wasn't running around with many video cameras as a teenager. Actually, yes, I was. But as a man, once I got my man voice, you know, was when I finally got to the recording studio and really had good quality audio of myself talking. I was like, ugh, that's what I sound like? My friend Jordan, actually, he just told me that when he's referring to me to his wife, he calls me SpongeBob. In fact, when SpongeBob first started, I refused to watch it. I was like, I'm not watching that, because everybody's like, dude, there's this new show and it's just like you. You're like, because people my whole life have said I'm like a living cartoon character. I'm not like that all the time. Sometimes I'm very quiet, I swear. Sometimes I'm grumpy. I have celiac disease, so a lot of times I'm just grumpy because I'm in physical pain. I have chronic pain. What a fun one. But yeah, I kind of get it. It's tough but fair. But anyway, I was all bitter. I was like, I'm not watching this stupid kids shows. I'm not like SpongeBob. And then after like forever, I finally was like, okay, let me dip into this. Let me check it out. That turned out I loved SpongeBob. So see, that's the thing. Whenever I'm like, you know, getting uptight about anything, like getting uptight, like, ooh, I don't want to film that because somebody else already filmed it, or I don't want to watch that because everybody's bothering me about it. Every time I get uptight, I end up regretting it later because I'm like, oh, I missed out on that thing. I need to learn to relax. I need to learn to chill. Let things go. Go with the flow. Here, helicopter coming. I might have gone with the flow too much. They might be after me now. I might need to get out of here. Anyway, speaking of flow, there's a horrible flow of traffic back home, and it's probably time that I was hitting the road. So I'm saying hello and farewell to kind of my old as weird as this sounds, they kind of were my old stomping grounds over here. Because like I said, I took so many out-of-town visitors here, and I spent so much time lurking around, and when they would gear up for a new season, I would cruise out here all the time and be like, ooh, I wonder if we could see like anybody's props or car. I was trying to see if we could see like, you know, Jim's bike in front of the thing when we thought he was coming back to Dundee, all that kind of stuff. Come out and see Dwight's car and everything. One of the other places, I've been to a lot of the other like little filming locations around the valley. They filmed all in the San Fernando Valley here, not actually in Scranton, except for a few occasions that they would go and do some special stuff in Scranton, Pennsylvania for real. But the one place I never got into, the one place was Schrute Farms, because Schrute Farms was filmed mostly at the Golden Oak Ranch, which is a Disney property up outside of here, just north of the valley. Where they filmed, like, you know, all this great old stuff, Parent Trap from the 60s and all this different stuff. Anyway, they guard that place like Fort Knox. If you have no business being there, it's very hard to get in. A few times over the years where I was pretty close to getting access to it just to walk around and hang out. I was obsessed with filming locations, so I wanted to go there because there's part of Back to the Future film there, a little part. There's part of, no, the whole, basically the entire movie of, what's it called? The Farm Pee-wee movie, the circus, Pee-wee's Big Top Pee-wee. I got there eventually. Big Top Pee-wee was filmed there, a bunch of other stuff that I was obsessed. The Parent Trap house, torn down for years. I gotta find that spot. And most importantly, a movie called Follow Me, Boys, that I'm absolutely obsessed with. If you ever want to know my favorite Disney character, it's Fred McMurray. Fred McMurray, the greatest of all time, the GOAT. Anyway, I've never gotten into Golden Oak Ranch, and a few times I almost got in. But even then, it was always on the condition of like, yeah, but you can't take any pictures and you can't take any video. Like, dang it, I just want to go to Golden Oak Ranch. Maybe just with this little camera, just a little sneaky vlogging camera. Just go, hey, what's up, Pee-wee? I'm Vance the Pig, or whatever his name was. You know? Anyway, I got to go get back on the freeway. This is everybody's most fun thing ever. So I'm going to be signing off the Sometimes vlog. Just expect to see a lot more of me. I have dumped so many videos out there. For the longest time, I've heard from people, dude, love your channel, this and that. When are you gonna upload some videos? What are you talking about? I've been uploading, but apparently not enough. And a lot of YouTube has just like hidden the suggested videos from a lot of people. And it's a long, hard climb back up. So if you've been wondering where the videos are, check the channel because they're on there. All right, that's enough of my yakking. Nobody needs to hear me talk for a full 20. At least not on this same street where there's nothing to show you, but that studio there, which is epic. But we're not doing a whole office thing today. Maybe we'll come back. And of course, the giant rock over there. And I was rocking out all morning, so it actually kind of fits the theme. All right, okay, I'm gonna head down the 5 freeway, which is totally humbucked right now with traffic. Go home or sleep well, because I got up at like 6 in the morning to come out here. I will catch up with you guys very soon, but there's a lot to catch up on if you must admit that you've been missing the videos lately. So go back and check those out. I love you all. Merry Christmas. See you soon.